I know I don't have a broom in my hand and I look like a dumbass, but I don't care. The New York Metropolitans just swept the Cleveland Guardians, and we got to talk about it. How's it going, Mets and overall baseball fans? Welcome back to the channel. Spam those sweep emojis in the chat right now. I want to see it live, and for people in the comments below on replay, I was in attendance for Game 1 today, all the way from PA. Just got back home over the past hour and a half or so, and we are breaking down these two Metropolitan ball games as, again, they take 3 games out of 3 against the Cleveland Guardians. How's it going, all you beautiful SOBs? Happy to have you all in here as we're breaking down another day, another Mets victory. They have now won 5 consecutive games. This is the best stretch of baseball we've seen from this Metropolitan team so far this season. So we're going to be breaking down my raw reactions. What was it like in Game 1 today in attendance? What an awesome experience that was. I'm sure many of you guys saw the short schmuck that is me on the scoreboard, right next to the scoreboard of SNY for Game 1. It was a lot of fun, but Game 2, going to talk about that too. The pitching performance, the old-timers still have it. Who would have thought? Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander go 14 innings of 1 earned run ball, 10 strikeouts, 6 hits, 1 walk combined today. Absolutely dominant performance by the pitching. Offense, you got just enough in Game 1. The Mets had a lot of hits and a lot of key home runs when they needed most. Adam Ottavino wanted to blow it again with me in attendance, but for a second straight time this week, Adam Ottavino gives up runs, and I'm pretty sure he gave up a bomb when he gave up his runs today. And both times like that, and when he gave up the bomb to Lowe against the Rays, I was in attendance, and the Mets still managed to win said ball game after being down late in the ball game. So a lot to get into. I'm juiced up as always. How's it going, you beauties? Happy to have you all watching live in our replay. YouTube doesn't like broom emojis. I know, they keep censoring it. What is it? You know what I think? I think who's ever running YouTube right now are Guards fans, because they are literally making me approve every comment that has brooms. What is this? Why is it censoring this? What does it mean? What could you possibly do with a broom? That would be so hard. They got to be Guards fans. They're from Cleveland. That's the only way to justify this. Like, why? It literally limited so many comments for me. But again, shout out my 400 live viewers. Let's talk about it, guys. Guys, this was so much. No, it was 14 innings because JV pitched 8 and Max pitched 6. That's 14, right? That's 14 innings, if my math is correct. YouTube is a bunch of crybabies, seriously. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but no less, I'm happy to have you guys in here. Happy Sunday to you all. The Mets have a much-deserved and much-needed day off tomorrow, as do I. We're going to be enjoying the day off, even though we'll probably do our latest podcast episode later tomorrow. But right now, let's talk about this Mets series, guys. Again, they came out today, guns a-blazing. The offense was there and often against Bibby. And again, Bibby had a solid start today that we saw in Game 1 against this Mets team, but thankfully so did Max Scherzer. And in attendance, guys, and shout out to guys, actually got to do a big shout out to Dave for the $5 holla. Guys, shout out to Dave Kaplowitz, who's a great member on the channel. Dave has been an OG follower of the channel literally since day 1, and this was something planned for a while. Him and I met up pregame today, and Dave is not only one of the nicest Mets fans and nicest human beings you'll ever meet, but he truly is such an OG supporter that I will always appreciate him for. So let's get some live chat hype in there for Dave, who's been an absolute beauty. Yoshima, thank you so much for the donations. Bring out the brooms, baby. Raise the effing apple. And just to tell you how awesome Dave is, again, as many of you guys know, Dave has sent a lot of awesome Mets things my way over the past couple years, from some of the things you see on the wall behind me to, you know, different types of Mets memorabilia, jersey, stuff like that. And today he gifted me, funny enough, a jersey that I've always wanted and I've yet to have in my possession till now. As you see here, this beautiful Mike Piazza orange jersey. Just take a moment to appreciate this and the greatness that is Dave in the live chat. So just look at this thing. Just look at how beautiful. I've always wanted this specific jersey. I've seen it all the time. They're my absolute favorites. I have a black Piazza and I have a royal, a royal blue Piazza. That's the spring trading jersey, but I've never worn the orange one, and I absolutely love it. So again, Dave, shout out to you. You're the man. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. I was beyond taken back for you to do something like that, so it really does mean a lot to me. And also shout out to everyone that attended today's game and got their hands on these Lindor bobbleheads. I mean, people were out there acting like, a certain type of schmuck trying to buy and resell these like crazy today. I'm not reselling this. I'm gonna open it up right away. It's like a chia pet for the grass on the bottom, but but people were frothing at the mouth for a damn bobblehead today. And again, to each their own, I respect it, but I just found it hilarious as I was walking out. I could count more on the number in my hands of people really trying to get this out of my hands. I'm like, no, like I didn't even show up to the game early and they still had it, thankfully. But got the Lindor bobblehead for game one. That was a lot of fun. The jersey that I absolutely love. Thank you again, Dave. Got the new hat too. I like this bad boy. Nice little floral accent going on for the summer vibes. You know the vibes. You'll see me repping this a lot. But I didn't get one. I was pissed. I'm sorry, Mothman. Yeah, I know there were people that were pissed, and I apologize to you guys, but there's a lot of schmucks out there that were going out of their way to try to resell them, and to those people, you know, that kick them to the curb. You know, diehard Mets fans deserve them. They're actually not going to try to sell them, and that's for certain. But guys, let's talk about the Mets. Let's talk about this damn Mets team right now because they are absolutely rolling. Finally, even Gary Sanchez in game one produced, had himself a single, had an RBI sac fly. I mean, the Mets got production today. And then, of course, you had Mad Max, who went 6 shutty on only 86 pitches. He was taken out. I'm like, why is Max taken out? He dealt with a broken, like, a blister or whatever on his thumb today and had to pitch through it like an absolute bulldog. He says, it hurts like hell. I know I'm going to be fine for my next start, but I had to pitch through it. So that's the only reason, guys, why Max didn't go 7 innings today. It's because he literally had a cut on his thumb basically the entire time, had to change up his curveball pitch grip today, but still got a lot of swing and miss. I mean, Max looks sharp as hell today while facing that injury, because just imagine having to throw a baseball constantly, having to have it as gripped as hard as possible, and you have a clear broken cut right there in the middle of your thumb. Like, that shit has to hurt like a you-know-what. So I commend him for grinding out and giving the Mets 6 strong innings. It's funny how he wasn't even healthy today, and you could argue that this was the best start that we've seen from Max Scherzer this season. And then you see in game 2, Justin Verlander casually goes 8 effing innings, allowing only that bomb to J-Ram in the first, who absolutely torched it, almost went out of Citi Field. But J-Ram is one of the best hitters and arguably the best third baseman in baseball, I could argue right now. He's always an MVP candidate every year out of the AL, so I'm not shocked by that. I mean, J-Ram's a beast. He raked against the Mets in game 1, and he did the same thing there in game 2, and thankfully the Mets still won both ball games, but especially in game 2, after JV gave up that bomb, he was cruising, he got in a groove, and you love to see that, especially as let's just take a look at the pitching stats today. Again, from game 1, Mad Max absolutely cruising, even with his thumb injury. You love to see that. You got to give him a pat on the back for everything that he did there. Brooks Raley comes in for a 1-2-3 7th. As I was walking to the outfield, I wasn't even there yet to meet up with my good friend Darren, of course, our good friend, because we're partnered with the 7-line. Shout out to you, Darren Meenan. As I was walking to the 7-line section, it was already the top of the 7th was done already. Brooks Raley, I don't know how many pitches did Brooks Raley throw. He threw 9 pitches, but it was such an easy bang, bang, boom. Before you knew it, it was done at the top of the 7th. And then Adam Ottavino comes in, and Adam, once again, just absolutely chokes. Like, what are we doing here, Adam? And was it a home run they gave up? It wasn't a home run that Adam gave up. I forgot what happened because I was going the outfield. I'm like, are you absolutely kidding me? I'm a huge Ottavino stan too, so it's driving me nuts how in 2 of his last 3 outings, he's absolutely getting shelled. And then David Robertson comes in. David Robertson gives up that bomb to J-Ram, but I wasn't even mad at D-Rob there. He was put in a shitty situation. D-Rob's been absolutely used heavily lately. He comes in for the 4-out save, which is not going to work every time, and he gets barreled by J-Ram. Like, I wasn't the slightest bit mad at David Robertson there. It was all on Ottavino, which is why Ottavino was charged with the bulk of the runs there. Well, okay, so now you're down a run, and then as you enter the following inning, Starling Marte, star-studded Starling, comes up with the massive opposite field 2-run bomb. If you guys saw me on SNY, I was going like this, right? I was absolutely juiced up, and the Mets go on to get that lead, and ultimately the victory, which was huge. 5-4 was your final there. But as you saw, those were the pitching stats in game 1, hitting stats in game 1. These were the following. Again, barring any, pinch runners, like we had Tommy Pham was pinch running later in the game we saw. But Gary Sanchez, I mean, Gary wasn't great. He struck out a couple times, but he was serviceable. He did what you needed him to do. So there were a lot of things. Again, the Mets weren't the prettiest team by a stretch today, but I really appreciate in game 1, they put the ball in play a lot. They had 11 hits, 5 runs, to Cleveland's 8 hits, 4 runs, and you get 6 strong from Mad Max, and then the rest follows after that. Batting wise, again, McHits with 2 hits. Awesome to see him up front in person like that behind home plate today. I was looking at my buddy. I'm like, this is a hits god. I turned my buddy Brandon into a full-time Mets fan now. I'm like, just look at McHits here. And he rips a single literally 2 seconds after I say it. Marte, though, what a huge game. And shout out to my good friend Dan, who got me the hookup, of course, was sitting with him behind home plate today. Dan is beyond generous friend of mine. And Dan asked me right before game 1 started, or as it was starting, when is Starling Marte going to get out of his funk? And I replied, I couldn't tell you. For all we know, it's going to start today. And soon after, Marte goes on to be arguably the most impactful hitter for the Mets today between games 1 and games 2. And if you're wondering why am I saying game 2, that pinch running aspect was huge to then run for Alvarez there, who got a single late in the game, to then go first to third and then score the game-winning run there thanks to Jeff McHitt's sac fly in game 2. So as we look at the game 2 offense, yes, it wasn't nearly as pretty because Shane Bieber was carving up this Mets team left and right. Again, Biebs had it today. 8 innings. Him and Justin Verlander went 8 innings today, but thankfully JV had the upper hand. It was that 1-run difference as Bieber threw 8 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned run ball, 4 strikeouts on 106 pitches. Justin Verlander, anything you can do, I can do better. Literally 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts on 98 pitches. So you got to love what you got from the Mets today pitching-wise. Again, from the two-headed horseman, the old schmucks that them combined is roughly 80 years old. However, these old-timers still have some gas in the tank. Again, Max going 6 shutty. JV, the deepest outing we've seen from a Mets pitcher this year at the age of 40. JV looked like a guy who just won the Cy Young last year. He looked polar opposite of what we saw there against Isaac Paredes, hitting 2 bombs off of him and 6 total earned runs. A lot of full counts against that Tampa Bay Rays team. JV made up for his last outing, that stinker, and then some today. And you have to appreciate that because as we look at the game 2 stats here, again, you got Verlander and then you got Raley for a second consecutive game today with another second consecutive scoreless 1-2-3 inning. Easy work there by Raley. Had a beautiful flip to Alonso for the first out of the ninth. You really cannot ask for much more. And I'm blanking on it for a second, but Francisco Lindor to tie the ball game, no less, offensively, that we saw there in game 2. Deep into the ball game, that was in the 6th inning, if I'm not mistaken, with Lindor. Lindor just has an act for always stepping up, right? You think of the ESPN broadcast. You think of 2021 Subway Series against the Yanks, where he hit not 1, not 2, but 3 bombs against the Yanks, right? It feels like any time that Lindor is in a big game, in a big moment down the stretch, even in postseason, Lindor is such a clutch player for this Mets team. Yes, he might go on his streaks from here and there, but when the Mets actually need him most in key marquee matchups against top teams in the league, he always comes to the plate, and that is what I've always appreciated about Lindor. He has a flash to him, as you should if you're having a $341 million contract for the next decade, right? You got to be flashy. He's not only flashy being on GQ, with his beautiful house and, his lovely wife and kids, how they're flexing all the time, but he's flashy with how his performance is on the field too, and I've always loved that about Lindor. If you're going to be a little, not necessarily cocky, but if you're going to exemplify yourself a certain way, then you better back it up, especially when you're in key matchups. And Lindor always tends to do that. He always has those big hits exactly when you want them. And again, on national television, it just seems like when he knows when it's a big spot, a big moment, and he absolutely savors that. And that leads the Mets ultimately to their victory. Not only Lindor, but Justin Verlander and then McHitt's with a mixed RBI sac fly there in the top bomb the 8th to ultimately get the Mets the win and the series sweep as a whole. But Mets fans, I want to know to everyone watching live or on replay, make sure to continue to smash that like and subscribe on as we're breaking down our raw reactions to the Mets sweeping the Cleveland Guardians tonight. How are you feeling in the live chat, everybody? How we doing? Grant, my man at Jenny Mets, we back, baby. Yes, we are. Grant was at game 2 today. I had a lot of friends at game 2. I apologize. I would have loved to be there for both games today, guys, but I kind of equally love being here back home in time, right in time to do the post-game show. So it worked out perfectly. I mean, going forward, I'm going to eye more doubleheaders where they're split, where I can go to game 1, not have to worry about covering it right after, enjoy myself, drive home, the 2+ hour hike with traffic, and then get home and still be ready to cover both games entirely. Because as we cover doubleheaders on the channel, we never do 2 post games in one day. We always combine it because there's no point. There's such short shelf life if I say covered game 1 after it finished, because there's only a couple hours before game 2, right? So it's nice to combine it into one. So definitely gonna be eyeing more games this year should there be split doubleheaders. Not that I wish it, because doubleheaders I'm normally not a fan of, but even though that they might be inconvenience to fans attending, they usually bode in the Mets' favor. The Mets have had more doubleheaders than any other team in baseball the past couple of years, and yet they've done really well in them, historically well. The Mets have had very few doubleheader sweeps where they've lost both games over the past couple of years. Since the start of 2021, it has been few and far in between. So you got to give them props on that front too, facing that adversity and, again, giving it their all. Let's see here, though. Again, Grant, thank you for the donut. Shout out all my live members, people live on replay. AZ, thank you so much for the $5 holla. He says, boom, boom, boom. The hits keep coming. What a series sweep this is. What the Mets needed. I need some booms from the chat and Wardy as well. Boom, boom, boom is right, guys. Again, continue to spam those sweeps. Get those brooms in the live chat if you haven't already, as the Mets take 3 of 3 against the Cleveland Guardians, have a 5-game winning streak, have an off day tomorrow, and then they kickstart a 3-game set, I believe 3 games starting Tuesday against the Chicago Cubs, who definitely have some pieces who can be effective in that series. But guys, we got to break it down because, as I told you, as many of you guys know, our awesome sponsor on the channel is SoRareMLB. And quickly, briefly, as many of you guys know, SoRareMLB is the best MLB fantasy game out there. You sign up for free to play. You draft your team how you would in MLB The Show or any MLB fantasy game. You draft your team. You enter weekly tournaments, and how you perform in said tournaments is based on how the players perform in real life. So I'm going to show you briefly. I'm killing it in my tournaments, and we are doing a massive giveaway on the channel, and that all you need to do to enter is by signing up to my Wardy's SoRare MLB League for free, drafting your teams, entering weekly tournaments, and the winner will be picked at the end of the month. So very soon in the next week or so. But as you can see, I am killing it in this tournament right now. I'm 125th out of roughly 16,000 people. Thanks to JV giving me 51 points. Cano from the O's giving me 28. We got 19 from Bregman. Jaime, who did not play enough. I was upset about that against the Rockies. Only 9 points. But 33 from McClanahan, 30 from Alonso, 59 from Josh Lowe, who killed the Mets and that has been torching baseball since. Again, guys, all you have to do once more to enter the giveaway is join Wardy's League. And to show you again the league exactly what it is for everybody wondering, this is the Wardy League right here. You join, you enter your tournaments after drafting your teams. And if you do that, then you will be automatically entered for your chance to win, yes, a Brett Beatty jersey that we will be picking a random winner at the end of the month. We'll be doing a live show in it. It won't be like I'm picking a random subscriber. It'll literally be me picking a random person that I know signed up in my SoRare MLB League. So we've already had, not just 100 to 200 people that have joined so far. Make sure you get in because your odds of winning this Brett Beatty jersey are so much higher than me just picking a random person in the live chat that we do with other giveaways. So it's that easy. Clicking the link here in the live chat in the description down below, and for comments on replay, the same applies. Just click that link, sign up, and you will be automatically entered for your Brett Beatty jersey. So again, shout out all you guys. Hope you sign up. We've been having so much fun with it. I'm killing it in my tournament. I can't wait to see how you guys are performing at the end of it. It's going to be something we're following along over the next month plus. But again, shout out to SoRare MLB for being a great sponsor on the channel, and get in on the Brett Beatty jersey giveaway for free today. Now let's get back into talking about this Mets ball game. Guys, I got to ask you, the Mets are on a heater right now. They've won 5 straight. They're getting the offense when you need. They're getting clutch hits when you need. It's like never say die with this team. You finally have a confidence with this club that you haven't had for over a month straight, in which we were doing post-game shows on a night-to-night basis, absolutely distraught, absolutely fed up with this team, mainly because of the fact that they just had no life. They had no swagger to them. They had nothing whatsoever. Now they have all those pieces. The kids are producing as well. I like Brett Beatty today too. Looks sharp. Alvarez, Vientos didn't have a hit, but again, it's okay. I'm excited with these kids' development. I'm excited with this Mets team. Now they have some life for us fans to be happy about. But I got to ask you guys, how are you feeling? You're on the heater right now. You win 5 straight. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your current confidence level in this Mets team? 1 being, I have absolutely 0 confidence in this Mets team whatsoever. This heater means nothing to me. To 10 being, I have absolutely the utmost confidence in this Mets team. They're going to do great things this year. They're 2 games above 500, and before you know it, they're going to be 10 games above 500. That's how confident I am. So on a scale of 1 to 10, however you're feeling, let me know in the live chat. People on replay in the comments below, the same applies. And again, shout out to you beauties for being here. Really, really does mean a lot. But the Mets are back, team. They're back. I mean, they have to be back, right? I think it's fair to say they're back when they're, it's literally Rocky out there. He's getting knocked out, and you hear the guy on the side. He's like, "Come on, Rocky, you gotta get back up there." And he's like, "I didn't hear no bell." And he's getting back up there, and then he's bing bang boom. That's a Marte home run to give the Mets the lead late in the ball game. Bing bang boom. It's Jeff McHitz with the RBI sac fly to give the Mets the lead in the bottom of the 8th. This team has a never say die mentality right now, and it's needed now more than ever. How many comebacks have we seen from the Mets over this past week, right? It has felt like a nightly basis that this Mets team has either not started the game with a lead and has overcome that multiple times in the game, or they started with a lead, lost it, and then gained it back. I have such a bigger confidence level in this Mets team right now than I did a month ago. It's not even funny. It's night and day difference, right? So I'm damn excited about this Mets team, and I hope that they can continue this trend. Again, I'm not asking you to sweep every series. I will say it's damn impressive the Mets did this, though. How long did it take the Mets to sweep a team last year? Did they ever sweep a team last year? If they did, it took them a really long time. And that was one of the biggest things with the Mets. Even when they were riding hot last year, The Braves were sweeping teams constantly, and the Mets couldn't. And that was a slow build up into them eventually falling down towards the end of the season, yada, yada, yada. The only reason why I bring up last year is because, again, the Mets did sweep a team for a long, long time last year. So to see the Mets finally sweep a team early is honestly great to see. And hopefully we see more of that, to do it against a solid Guardians team. Again, they have their struggles. Their offense has certainly been struggling this year. But, I mean, this was a hard-fought series. This could have went either way. Every single Mets win that they had in this series was neck and neck. You walk it off in extras 10-9 in your first game of the series. You win 5-4 in game 2, and then you win game 3 2-1. I mean, a coin flip, and for all we know, the Mets could lose 2 out of 3. Well, that is the X factor in this Mets team right now. They know how to face adversity and overcome it. They know how to get those big hits, those RBI sac flies when you need them most, and more than anything, they got consecutive pitching 3 straight days. Pardon me. I shouldn't say that. They didn't get pitching in game 1, but they got pitching today. They got absolutely 0 pitching in game 1, aside from Ottavino and Robertson, funny enough. They were great, but everyone else and their mother were terrible that we saw there in game 1. But then, today overall the pitching was just so sharp, and you got to be happy with the performance that you're getting. K-Swiss, thank you for the $2 holla. K-Swiss says, LFGM really glove flip making Sports Center. Oh, you love to see that. And also, guys, I want to let you know that, as exciting of a Mets game as this has been, this has also been, a kind of tough day for me as well, just with a lot of stuff going on in my life. So just want you to know that I'm very happy to be covering these Mets games and this Mets team for you all. And again, very happy to have you all in here in my 600 plus live viewers, people watching live or on replay. Your support means more to me than you'll ever know, especially, in the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. I know that I always have you guys to bank on, and I sincerely appreciate it. So thank you. Daniel with the $20 donation says, I see you on TV more than the actual players today. A 5 in a row now. Oh yeah, we are back at LFGM. Yeah, it was fun. I all you guys were tagging me, which was hilarious. Some people were texting me to wave hi, so I was doing that. My buddy Mike at Stark Raven Sports posted a video on Twitter, which was hilarious. I honestly want to show you guys if I can, so maybe I'm gonna try to do that here in a minute if I'm able to, because that was actually hilarious. Let me see if I could do that real quick. Bear with me 1 second, everybody, because that was actually pretty damn hilarious. Let's see. Hold on, guys. I want to show you guys this because this was cracking me up today. So I don't know how he managed to time this. He didn't rewind the game or anything, yet it worked out perfectly. Like I don't know how this happened, but it still happened. Hold on. So I'm gonna try to pull this up for you guys. Bear with me. Okay. Why is it telling me to sign into Twitter when I'm signed in? All right, never mind, you schmuck. Okay. Either way, if you're on my Twitter, it was really funny. Yeah, I waved. I don't know how. I don't even know. It was just perfect timing. He looked at the TV, said hi Tyler, and like seconds later I went, and he was just cracking up. But that's why I want to show you. No biggie that I can't do it right now. But yeah, really fun day at the ballpark. I'm really a crazy amount of people that came up to me. Shout out every single one of you guys are followers of mine that ran into me and took a minute to say hello. I always appreciate that. What really took me back today too, and shout out to you guys, each of you that you are, aside from my buddy Thomas, who already works at Citi Field. I had a couple other people that, as I'm walking around, workers at Citi Field that are big fans and followers of my content, which I really appreciate too. So shout out to you guys. If you're watching now, that really means a lot. But yeah, just everyone that I interacted with at Citi Field today, right into Darren again. Also shout out to my good friend Anthony Rivera, who does a great job with his own separate Mets podcast called Subway to Shea. He's been on the channel multiple times in the past. Hasn't been in a while just because schedules have been busy, and I'm always hectic as all hell. I always need things last minute, I feel like. But Anthony does a great job with his podcast. He chimes in the live show all the time, and it was really nice to meet him in person for the first time. And just everyone, just great experience at the ballpark today. The weather could not have been more perfect. It was breezy, 70 degrees. I mean, it was nice and comfortable enough with the breeze where you didn't need a hoodie or anything. Just wear your shirt, wear your shorts. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. That beat a summer night, honestly, because there was no humidity, no nothing, just perfect day. And, now I'm 3-0 at Citi Field this year. So I don't know, Steve Cohen, cough, cough, give me season tickets. I don't know. Just putting it out there. It's been a nice run at Citi Field so far. And obviously they're going to lose a couple games, if not many, that I go to this year. But we're on a heater. Just like how the Mets have won 5 straight, I too have won 3 straight being in attendance, being inside Citi Field. Hey, Jack, thank you for the $5 donation. It says, LFGM, I'm so happy the Mets are doing good because I lost my grandpa last week. So seeing the 2022 Mets again is so awesome. First of all, hey, Jack, I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences and prayers to you and your family in this time of grief. I really do feel for you. I myself too, actually just over this past week, lost a family member as well and had to attend the funeral, which I think I told you guys, which is why I took a hike to New York a weekend ago. So yeah, I've been hearing a lot, even a kid that I knew from my high school had passed away just a week or so ago too. Wasn't close with him, but just saying here, yeah, there's been a lot of unfortunate tragedies going on lately. So, it's definitely heartfelt and I feel for you, hey Jack, but I'm very happy to know that you're feeling happy about this Mets team and hopefully they can continue to ride high, not only for you, but for me and here, everyone in this Mets fan base in this great community. Come join the Lays on all things Mets. I would love to. Again, if you guys have a Twitter, reach out to me. We'll try to make it happen. Hopefully sometime over the next week or so. Let's see here, though. Yoshima, thank you for the $5 holla. He says, when JV gave up that nuke to J-Ram in the first, I think that was the first time this year that I wasn't worried about comeback. Solid 8-10 for me. Love to hear. Yeah, I mean, when JV, when he gave up the nuke, I was like, yeah, I mean, JV's kind of pulling a cookie where if he's giving up runs, it's in the first inning, is what it is. I'm not going to be mad or ashamed that he's giving up a bomb to literally one of the best hitters out there. I'm a huge J-Ram fan, too. This is actually the second time that I saw him, because I was just at a Guardians and Nationals game in D.C. like a month ago. So nice to see him up close. Wasn't nice to see him torch the Mets the way he did today, but no less. Nice to see him produce, and the Mets still win both ball games. So I'm a happy camper on that front. We want to see the Bonehead SR. Thank you for the donation. Bonehead, what do you mean? Do you mean bobblehead? Yeah. Yeah, here's the bobble. I'm going to open it up because, one, I got some water damage on it. I jumped up when Marte hit the home run, and I spilled my water everywhere. So if there wasn't enough incentive to just open this thing up right away, then there certainly is now. Here's the seeds. Oh, my God, this scared me. This literally looked like little maggots or gnats. These are the seeds that you use to plant the bobblehead. It says Bill's grass growing instructions. All right, Bill Deacon, Executive Director of Field Operations and Landscaping for the New York Metropolitans. There you go. Look at that. So cool. Very interesting. And all the Mets bobbleheads I currently have are players that aren't Mets, so I'm happy to have this. I had Max Scherzer ticker bobblehead, but I gave that away to a subscriber as a giveaway last year, so I haven't spoiled myself with anything. Can I even get this out? Come on. Okay. Sorry to all you collectors out there that are offended by me opening this, but I don't give a shit. Okay. So this is the bobblehead in all its glory. There you go, Francisco. He needs to dye the hair back. I personally liked it when he had that mint green, the aqua going on. So here it is. Here's how you grow it. So here's him on the grass, and then as you can see, there's all this space in between here to grow said grass. So I'll have to read the instructions, and my dumbass is probably going to take 10 times longer than I need to. But this is a Lindor bobblehead in all its glory, presented by Northwell, as you see there. Francisco Lindor bobblehead, fielding, going for a ground ball for the easy out at first. And yeah, that's about it. It's dope, don't get me wrong. But when I tell you that, people were like savages today for it. It was unbelievable. Actually unbelievable. You were hot shit if you had it today from how people were acting. I was surprised I even got one because I got into Citi Field with a half hour before the game started. I was going to the first 15,000. I entered the left field gate and there was still plenty. I was like, oh, okay. Because then people were running up to me and saying, oh, how did you get that? And I'm like, they're sold out. I'm like, not over there. So I directed some people that didn't get their hands on it yet. But I hate seeing schmucks today go and oh, can I please buy that from you? As they have at least 5, if not 7 already. Yeah, no, I'm sure you're going to go ahead and give that to your 5 to 7 kids, right? While that could be true, that I'm going to go with the mindset that that's likely not. Worry Wise, fan of Vogelback still on this team. Both are rally killers. They need to go. I will say this, Vogelback definitely is frustrated at times. Pham had the worst luck today. He had 106, 107, 106, 108. I mean, Exaville all ground outs today. Pham had no luck. Don't get me wrong, he isn't that great. Neither's Vogelback, aside from getting on base basically a good clip, but I was yelling at Vogie. I'm like, oh my God, God forbid you don't take a strike right down the dick after it's already 0-1. Pardon my French. But they're going to be on the team for the foreseeable future, and, you know, we'll see what happens as we get throughout the next couple months of the season. Trust me, I understand the frustration. I've called them all out. Game 1 had you nervous? Yeah, I mean, game 2, I wasn't even really not that nervous in game. There was a vibe surrounding the New York Mets today that made me feel like, yeah, this team has a great chance of winning both games, and ultimately that's what came to fruition, which is great to say. So, you know, things could be, you know, just, yeah. Dun. Let's see this. The hat's fresh. Thank you, T-Blood. Great member. I appreciate you. All right, I'm going to go back for a second to see your numbers that you guys spammed. Hold on. Let me check for you guys. So we got 7, 8, 6, 10, 9, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 9, 7, 7, 8. Awesome. Let's see this. Chris Dennis's Valium. You're taking Valium, Chris. Okay. Good for you. Let's see. Come to Chicago this week. Nah, I can't do that. Yeah, no. I could write it off, but I can't do that. I would love to go to Chicago at some point, though. That'd be awesome. But again, guys, if you're just chiming in, we have been breaking down, sharing our raw reactions to the Mets taking both games in the doubleheader today against the Cleveland Guardians, winning by a final score of 5-4 in game 1, 2-1 in game 2, thanks to their two-headed horseman of an ace, that being a Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, going 14 total innings of 1 earned run ball, 6 hits, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts, big hits from Brandon Nimmo, Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor, to name a few, all with home runs apiece today, and ultimately led the Mets to a series sweep victory against the Cleveland Guardians. So it was even funny, too. I saw some guys posting memes on Twitter saying that, you know, because for whatever reason, which is kind of funny, but also insulting, anytime the Guardians play the Yankees, they've done this for multiple years now. Their admin on Twitter tweets, you know, so excited to be back in Queens when they're clearly at Yankee Stadium as a way to talk shit on the Yanks. However, it almost feels equally as insulting for us Mets fans because, like, don't put our beloved Queens in the same breath as the Bronx. Like what is going on here, right? So I saw a lot of comments, especially after the third straight loss today, of like, you know, what a great series in the Bronx, which I just found funny. It was actually hilarious seeing all that. So to all you Mets fans that were going against Cleveland's admin today, that was funny. I got a kick out of that. I really did. Where you rock? No, you rock, Mike. Thank you for the $2 haul, though. I appreciate you. All Things Mets, thank you for the $2 donation as well. Guys, make sure to check out All Things Mets Talk. You got two lovely ladies over there talking all things Mets every week. They're doing their own shows. I know that they've been asking me to come on, so hopefully we can make that happen in the near future. But they're a newer channel, and, you know, they have great Mets talk, great perspective, especially to all, you know, my Mets mamas out there, my Mets ladies. If you're dying to hear from a woman's perspective, because let's face it, you really don't hear a lot of it, you know, in the Mets space, especially. I know I don't, aside from hearing, you know, you're great you're great analysts here and there on SNY. You don't hear a lot of it. So it's a great different perspective that I thoroughly enjoy. So make sure to check them out. And again, I appreciate that donation, guys. Thank you. Ed Flood with the $5 donation. They say they won't actually send down Alvarez when catchers come back. Well, they shouldn't. I mean, I will riot if they do that. Alvarez has been the best hitting catcher the Mets have had in what feels like years, so you cannot justify that shit. I haven't seen the Mets have a better hitting catcher in this stretch of baseball since Wilson Ramos, when he hit in like over 20 straight games. Since the Buffalo hit in over 20 straight games, the Mets have not had a competent hitting catcher. I'm sorry, they haven't. No one has hit better than Alvarez in multiple years now, in what has been now a solid 2-week stretch of baseball. Dave, thank you so much for a $10 donation. Or you are the best Mets fan. So happy to finally meet you today, LFGM. Right back at you, Dave. Again, your generosity goes so far beyond you could possibly imagine. I greatly appreciate you and your support. Great meeting you and your friend today. Thank you again. Or if they send Alvarez down when the other two come back, what are we going to do to voice our displeasure of the team? Oh, we're going to do a rant stream. If that happens, we're going to do a rant stream. I'm going to say more expletives than, you know, imaginable in a week span. And yeah, we would probably even take callers. That's how pissed off I would be. So that better not happen. There's no way to there's no chance in hell to justify Alvarez being sent down when he's single-handedly impacting this Mets team for the better, is a key factor into their 5-game win streak. You have to be a straight-up dumbass to do it. And Tomas Nido hit a bomb today in AAA. Congratulations, Tomas. I think that's going to be great on your resume when you're ultimately picked up somewhere after being DFA'd. Again, it's nothing personal. I like Nido a lot as a person. I really do. And he had great stretches last year as not only a phenomenal framer, but a guy hitting runners in scoring position. But the fact of the matter is that Omar Narvaez still profiles a little bit better, is on a contract that you can't get out of right now, and is a strong guide for Francisco Alvarez as a fellow Venezuelan, but a veteran at that. So with all those things being said, I just don't foresee a world where Nido stays on this team, because unfortunately for him, he doesn't have minor league options. I don't believe in that will ultimately be his demise. And I feel strongly when I say that I could easily see him getting picked up somewhere, have success, and get consistent playing time. And if so, great for him. But it's Francisco Alvarez time. It's as simple as that. The time is now. It's ahead of schedule. I know it'll be a really tough decision for Buck and the Mets, but it's a decision that you need to make, because you can't roll 3 catchers on this team. You're just not going to do that, right? So that's my initial reaction to it. Again, nothing personal. Same thing with Gary Sanchez. Sanchez will only be on this team for however long it takes for one of Nido or Narvaez to return. That's my reaction to that. And yes, if the Mets can somehow swing a trade for Nido, by all means, do it, right? If you can get any type of return out of him, even if it's just a relief pitcher that, has, medium upside, anything, I agree. If the Mets can try to force a trade so they get something in value back versus nothing, then by all means do it. The only reason why I didn't say that before is because we're still so early from trade season. But again, if you're going to do a lower level move, trading someone like Tomas Nido is considered a lower level move. Again, I really like Nido. It kind of sucks because when Nido's on, I do like him as a backup Mets catcher. But the fact of the matter is the Mets signed Omar Narvaez on a multi-year deal for a reason, to be the guide for Francisco Alvarez, who's already impressed everyone, including Bailey Epler, including Steve Cohen, including Buck Showalter, and everyone else involved, that he's here to stay, and anything otherwise would be nothing short of a complete failure and embarrassment for this franchise. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Yoshima, yes, they do have another top prospect of a catcher, and that is, of course, in Kevin Parada, who's going to be a high riser in the minors, no doubt. Great bat-to-ball skills. Top draft pick in the first round last year out of Georgia Tech. Yoshima, thank you for the $5 holla. He says, could there be a trade package with Nido, Gourmet, and or others? I mean, anything's possible, right? I think it's imperative that if you're going to trade away guys where they don't have a future on the team, just try to get some value out of them, right? Try to get some value. That certainly is better than just cutting ties with them and getting no value at all. So yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you there either. Great content, great Sunday for the Mets. Cheers from Calgary. Calgary. So we got a why was I going to say Braves? Jesus. That's the worst type of profanity come out of my mouth. Dear God. Lauren from Calgary. Shout out to Lauren from Calgary, Canada. I'd imagine you're a Flames fan. I want to know how you're feeling about all the turmoil going on there, to my hockey fans out here. But I appreciate you chiming in. Love the Flames jerseys, too. They're fun. When is Jose Quintana coming back? Anthony DeComo tweeted the other day, now that he's able to start throwing off a mound, which is huge, got cleared of his scan the other day. He could return to the Mets as soon as early July, which would be ahead of schedule from when I was initially expecting. So the Mets getting back at any point in July, that's huge. Because if Quintana can be productive and be similar to what he was last year, then the Mets have themselves a damn good veteran southpaw for the back end of that rotation to eat innings for you. Any value to trade Carrasco? Not yet. He, unfortunately, as much as we may hate to say it, he's going to have to eat more innings before we get there. Do we trade Escobar? Maybe by the trade deadline, but again, there's limited value there too. It depends, because he's in a limited role. Yes, he's thrived when he's played at times. Really only from the right side of the plate, though. That's another thing. Harrison, we're not doing callers tonight. We definitely will try to do them this week, though. The only reason why we're not doing them tonight is because I'm absolutely shot. I have been out. I've been nonstop. I have done nothing but cover the Mets today. since leaving my house at 9:15 in the morning to drive to my buddy's house, then to take a 2.5-hour hike to Citi Field today, to then head all the way back home, then drive back to my place, and then hop right here right away. Didn't even have dinner, didn't do anything yet. So no callers tonight. I apologize, but hoping to do them this week. It'd be great if we could do it for at least one of the Cubs games. That'd be really fun and cool. Ed, thank you so much for donations. As Brewers said, the locker room was affected negatively when Hader left. My only concern is that it will be the same when Nito leaves. I wouldn't compare the two, with all due respect. I think there was a negative connotation with Hader, considering Hader wasn't any Joe Schmo. He was their dominant closer, one of the best relievers in baseball for like the past 5+ years, versus Tomasito, who's a great personality, but let's face it, he will peak as a backup catcher in the Mets organization. So I don't think that those compare in any stretch of the imagination. Brewers and their clubhouse had every right to feel disheartened by that trade, because that trade essentially meant that they were giving up, versus a team that should be going all in by the trade deadline. They traded down versus trading up, right? That's basically what they did. So, yeah, I wouldn't compare the two at all in that sense. I appreciate that donation, though. Thank you. But, yeah, drastic difference between Josh Hader, who's one of the game's best relievers, and a backup catcher in Tomas Nido. Do I think we'll get Ohtani next year? You know, we got a lot of time to talk Ohtani, lean up to the trade deadline, and then certainly the offseason, because I doubt he gets traded by then. Yeah, we'll talk about it when the time's right. It's funny. Chapman is off to a scorching hot start with the Royals. However, I do have concern that if he is, say, traded back into a big market in New York, I mean, he might just choke. I mean, don't get me wrong. Chapman has had a lot of great moments. I'm not a fan of him as a human being, but as a player, he's had a lot of great moments. He touched 104 on the gun against the Padres just last week, right? He's back to his old self. He's fine-tuned his arsenal a little bit. However, what do I think of most with Aroldis Chapman? I think of every key opportunity he's had over the past 5 years has blown it. You know, I just think of Jose Altuve against him. Like, it's my initial reaction, him smiling. Like, Chapman would be the idea of a dominant southpaw in this bullpen that touches a hundo with ease is appealing, but I'm also not completely sold on his performance thus far in a little to no pressure situation there in Kansas, where he can just enjoy his meals and enjoy his outings and not have to really worry about the repercussions, because he's just there to build his trade stock. So I'm not completely sold on him, and for that reason, that's why I don't really have much of an answer. Ed Flood, thank you. Oh, you donated that already. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. But guys, let's see here. We're going to be wrapping things up in just a couple minutes. But before I do, once more, I have to let you all know, again, the Brett Baty jersey giveaway this weekend, not this weekend, sorry, before the end of the month, right towards the end of the month, we'll be picking a random winner. And you just have to enter our live Wardy So Rare MLB League. That you can click the link in the live chat to enter. Make your team, draft your team, sign up, enter, and you're automatically entered for the jersey that you'll be randomly picked for. Or clicking the link in the description comments below. Shout out to our MLB once more. And, of course, also our great friends at Manta Sleep. Manta Sleep, you guys know by now if you've been following the channel, but Manta Sleep is literally the best sleep mask out there on the market. It's on my bedside. I don't even have it next to me right now. Been using it for over a month straight. It's the best sleep I possibly get, using the most affordable sleep mask on the market. And all you need to do is click my link in the description for using promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase. And just briefly more on Manta Sleep. Look how happy she is. I'd be happy too if I had a Manta Sleep mask. Because again, even long drives in the morning when saying you're in the passenger seat, you want to lock out the light. You don't want anything around you. You put on your sleep mask, right? You want to go to bed. You don't want any light. You don't want any sound. Maybe you want a sound mask with Bluetooth. Maybe you like listening to heavy Slipknot at night. Maybe you like listening to some Drake. Maybe you like listening to, freaking Frank Sinatra for all you know or care. Whatever you want to listen to at night, you got it. Even if you're on a flight too. Maybe you're trying to not acknowledge you're on a flight and there's a lot of turbulence and it's loud and it's comfortable, a little scary. Throw on the Bluetooth sound mask. Beyond affordable. I have the Pro Mask to the right. Most comfy thing ever. You can roll around it, sleep with it without a problem. Then you have the basic sleep mask there. But then you have some awesome other options, including a weighted mask for your face, which is very nice. A cool mask if you're going to bed hot at night, the way that I am, or a heated mask the other way around. Or if you're going to bed cold at night, you have a heated mask to heat things around your eyes. Again, Manta Sleep has all your sleep mask needs, and all you have to do is be a schmuck like me by clicking that link in the description, using my promo code WARDY for 10% off. And again, we've had a lot of awesome customers already, as this has been a great sponsor and partnership. Shout out all you guys, great members, subscribers that have purchased already and have been giving back raving reviews. Beyond happy to hear that, as I thoroughly enjoy this product and I use it on a nightly basis. That's why I have them as a great partner. And again, after a long day where I've been out all day, I need my beauty sleep, and the best way to get it, even though I'm an ugly schmuck, is by using my Sleep Mask Pro. So I highly implore you guys, again, to use promo code WARDY for 10% off your purchase using the Sleep Mask link in the description down below. Again, WARDY for 10% off your purchase. Manta Sleep, thank you for being a great sponsor as always. Let's see here. I'm going to get to a comment or two, and then we're going to wrap things up because I'm shocked, guys. I mean, I'm so tired, and I've had a long day, to say the least. Matthew, thank you for the donation, my man. LFGM, let's go, Wardy. Keep up the great work. Keep up the greatness that is you, Matthew. Really appreciate, though. Thank you so much for the donation again. Sanchez did just fine today, actually. Yeah, he did what you need him to do, you know? Single, RBI, sack, fly, 2 strikeouts. So that's pretty much what you would sign up for, right? That's exactly what you would expect. So I'm not complaining on that front. But guys, I got to get out of here. I'm exhausted. I got to get my beauty sleep with my Manta Sleep Mask Pro. So thank you all so much for watching. Always fun covering this Mets team. We'll probably be back, if I had to say, maybe later tomorrow night for our podcast episode. Stay tuned on that. Things may be ever changing. But until then, have a great rest of your night, day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Mets sweep the Guardians and sweep the doubleheader. Game 1 final score 5-4. Thank you, Max, for 6 shutty. Game 2, Mets win 2-1. Justin Verlander, thank you for going the deepest that any Mets pitcher has gone this year now, with 8 innings of 1 earned run ball that you allowed that bomb in just the first inning, and then cruised after that. Thank you guys all so much for the support, as always, and let's effing go Mets, baby. More wins to come. 5 straight, give me 10. Let's go, baby. Have a good one.